Chris, just changing a filter.
Neighbours is coming to a new home on 5 tomorrow, but tonight we're previewing the stories you can look forward to and revealing the secrets behind the scenes at the Neighbours studios, starting with Ramsay Street's best-loved resident, Jackie Woodburn, aka Susan Kennedy.
Okay. Good. You?
There actually is no typical day on the show. You might have a day where you spend a very long time doing the crossword and staring into space. Then there'll be days that you arrive here at 6:15 in the morning, you hit the ground running, and you don't stop until 7:45. And I actually enjoy those days. Right, next stop, wardrobe.
Look, I suppose to everybody else it's a glamorous job, and it's not.
Okay, that's the frock sorted out. Susan's a little bit of pastel today, which is very nice. We've got a fantastic wardrobe department.
I actually, in fact, had a discussion with someone, a total stranger yesterday in the supermarket, because he said, what do you do apart from Neighbours? Well, you cannot do anything apart from Neighbours.
We make 5 episodes a week, in essence, which is extremely fast. I never realised that it was going to be that quick when I started.
That's the equivalent of 1 movie per week, every week.
Now we go to makeup, which should be called Miracle. Quick check-up before I go on camera, probably take about 2 hours. See you then.
Sometimes you swear that the storyline department absolutely hates you and you've done something wrong to them or something, and they give you a few weeks of those 13-hour days.
Right, here we go. First scene of the day. Wish me luck. Ready? Come on.
So that's 2.5 hours of finished product from a 5-day week, 10 to 13 hours a day, with an average of 10,000 words per week to learn. Blimey.
It can get a little bit mentally tough when you shoot 10 hours and then you got to learn 10 hours worth of script for the next day, and at the end of those weeks your brain's pretty mush. So, nothing a beer can't fix at the end on a Friday night. Yeah.
I'll swap.
Here you go.
Thanks. Have you got your lines down for this one, mate? Oh, man, I've tried so hard to learn all these lines.
It always makes me laugh when you get sort of young actors and they say, oh, it's grueling and all, you've got to be there at 5 o'clock in the morning and you can do 12-hour days, 13-hour days, you've got to learn your script. And I think, yeah, right, you get your script, you know what to do. I love working on Neighbours. It's the cushiest job in the world.
Yeah, for any actor to work on a show like Neighbours, to have full-time work for 13 years, to work on a show with great credibility and popularity, that is, heaven sent.
Okay, we're rolling. Quiet now, thanks. And action.
So what are you going to do about Zeke?
No, I don't know.
You should be used to wrangling teenagers by now.
Why? Because I've taught a few 100,000 of them.
Yeah, and reared a few of them.
You'd think I'd have all the answers, wouldn't you? I've been playing Susan for 13 years now. She's 13 and a half. Primarily she's a mum.
Well, what do you reckon, Lib? Do you think you'll cope?
Who are you asking? Me or you?
I think Susan's popular as a mum because she's so flawed. The kids are first and foremost to her.
Don't stop talking on my account.
But she does get it horribly wrong. She's a bit overprotective and a bit smothering at times, but she absolutely means well.
Susan's not just a mum, she also doubles up as on-set health and safety monitor.
Sully, has this got brakes on it, this couch? Has it? Can we whack them on? Otherwise I'm going to skid off the set, I think.
No.
It's just sliding around a bit. Beautiful. Thank you.
You want it closer?
No, that's fine.
What you're seeing being filmed will actually be on your screens in July. It'll be on Aussie TV in May, and while this was being shot, we were watching June, and the Australians were watching August, which was written last February. So, Australia's shooting 5 months ahead of TV, 7 months ahead of what you see in Britain, which is 2 months behind us. 5 plus 7 minus 2 equals 10. Do you see? All Neighbours are actually living in a hole in a space-time continuum.
Let's say I film something today, it'll be 6 to 7 months before you see it here, and it's 4 months before the Australian audience see it.
That is a bit bizarre. It's weird actually coming over here and watching it on screen going, I completely forgot about that scene. I forgot I even shot that.
I can remember when it was 18 months. So you're slowly catching up, and in time I'm sure you'll be waiting for us to make it.
That is a bit weird, that you guys are so far behind.
Well, making mistakes is how you learn. At least that's what I tell my students.
It's true. And maturity comes when you stop repeating them.
Yeah, when does that happen?
Oh! Hey! Hey!
Go happy with that. Moving on, thanks.
Come on, let's go. Let's sort it out.
We'll see you later, mate. You're off. Now what?
What's next for the Kennedys is the return of their much-loved daughter, Libby. Played by Kim Valentine, Libby returns to Ramsay Street after a 3-year absence.
With all the changes that were happening to Neighbours, the primary thing for me was the return of Libby, the Kim Valentine character. I think she was always perfect Neighbours. And the fact that she's come back now as this sort of stunningly attractive, slightly older woman, you know, in her early 30s, late 20s, early 30s, it adds so much to the program.
So, Jackie, what's it like having Kim back on set?
Well, as you can see, it's a complete nightmare having Kim back in the show.
It's kind of like going back to your high school. Growing up here as a child, now coming back again as a mum and a grown woman is very different. It's actually really different.
Yeah.
And I'm absolutely loving it. I keep waiting to get in trouble.
This time.
All in court, charged with conduct endangering life and failure to stop at the scene of an accident.
Basically, where Channel 5 is going to kick off is with Susan's court case, and it's quite large. She has knocked over one of the cast members and basically, you know, put her in a wheelchair for a little bit. Susan could be up for some jail time and all this kind of stuff. She did do a runner. Did she knowingly do a runner? And is she actually, you know, healthy? You know, is there something going on with her health? Which, you know, there is. Shh.
Do you want this on the table as well?
Susan! Put it down! Put it down! It's hot! Put it down! Oh, quick.
Oh, I didn't realise.
Come on, hands on the water.
I couldn't feel it.
Just let the water run.
Whenever there's kind of Kennedy family drama, it's always really emotional for us because we've got such a long history together and such a strong connection. So I'm back to kind of help out with all of that big storyline at the moment. So a bit of crying, which Libby does. Libby cries. It's what they make me do. They see you can cry. They go, you're a good crier. Let's make you cry all the time. I'm scared now.
Cool. And action.
With a regular cast of 32, one of Neighbours' greatest strengths is its young and old cast combo, with some of Australia's oldest and wisest thesps grooming the brightest and youngest talents for future stardom.
This is going to be nice and cosy, isn't it?
Final checks, please.
I can remember when I first started on the show, a lot of my scenes were with Tom Oliver, who plays Lou. He was always very quick to pull you up on bad habits you were developing and just give you a bit of advice and stuff like that.
My professional being is right there on the set with the actor I'm working with and looking them straight in the eye, and hopefully they're looking straight back at you, because if you don't, they look at your ear, and it's very off-putting.
Just how far are we getting with the whole undressing thing? I'm telling her to wait up. My character is Ringo Brown. He's currently 17 years old, turning 18 soon, which is nice. Hopefully we'll be able to get into the bar. He's not the smartest kid, so he does get himself into trouble where he does get in trouble with the ladies a bit. So, I'm sorry, and then she runs.
That way?
Yeah. And then wait up.
You have to put in a lot of homework to make sure that your character is looking good on screen, because the time you get filming it is very limited.
Action.
Didge, I'm sorry. Wait, please.
For the younger cast members, Neighbours' homework includes brushing up their acting skills with this man.
And do you know the worst thing that you can be called? The worst thing that can be said about you if you're not acting well? You're acting. Buggy whip, gig whip, buggy whip, gig whip. So you're actually breathing out through it.
Okay.
Yeah? Try it.
Buggy whip, gig whip, buggy whip, gig whip, buggy whip, gig whip.
Pretty good. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you Peggy Babcock, Peggy Babcock, Peggy Babcock, Peggy Babcock.
Uh-oh.
Peppy bag. Oh, there we go.
Lily loves licking lollies.
Lily loves licking lollies.
Not bad. Lily loves licking lollies.
Lily loves licking lollies.
Good, okay.
Here's an exclusive. Meet Neighbours' latest addition, Erin McNaught. Former Miss Australia, Erin plays Carmela Caminetti's cousin, Sienna.
To be honest, I never thought that I would overcome my shyness to become an actor. It's something that I dreamed about when I was young and growing up, but there's no reason to not do something because of your own fears. Who's a woody woo? Oh, that's right. Who's a woody woo? Who's a woody woo?
I think we've well and truly established that Chloe's the woody woo.
Okay.
We're going for natural. How you would say something if it was you.
Yeah.
Every time I hear that little sing-songy thing in the voice, it's gonna go.
I think I must do that in real life. Coming into a show like this is a little bit surreal, a lot scary. I'm showing Lou the Caminetti orange muffin recipe.
It's got nutmeg in it.
Right, well, that's great and everything, but...
Because you just have to be a bit self-confident and be reassured by the fact that you're there for a reason. They haven't just got someone randomly off the street.
Lou. Besides, Sienna's here and I've offered her a job. Lou.
If it's a problem.
It's not a problem.
Yeah, you just lean a little bit on the yeah.
At the moment, we've got about 32, I think, cast members, which is quite a large cast, actually. I have auditioned every one of them.
I just have a quick question.
Yeah, sure.
In this scene where we are actually eating the muffins, how do you actually do that and talk and eat?
Take small bites. Yeah.
So you just sort of take a little bite?
Yeah, generally, yeah, you just cheat and take a small bite so their mouth doesn't get too full.
Yeah, okay.
Don't worry about that. We'll
I still don't know these things. I was very doubtful that I'd be able to pull it off, and I still don't know whether I can, but I'm going to do my best.
Really good.
Really go home and practice. She'd only have like half a leg.
It's a really cool job for my character anyway. I like my character when it's all jokey stuff. I have the most amount of fun then. When it's all dramatic stuff, it's kind of like, oh yeah, okay, all right, yeah, I'll do your dramatic stuff, but I really want to get back to mucking around.
Ryan has his work cut out acting-wise, as in the forthcoming storyline, Toadie's health goes into the...
Toadie's panic attacks, something that Steph's got a grip on. She's seen it happen a few times now, and she's able to kind of calm him down without freaking out herself.
Toadie! All right. Okay, we have to call an ambulance.
Toadie's representing Susan, and he's just too close to the case, and he shouldn't really be doing it. And as such, he develops having panic attacks, and he just can't kind of deal with the pressure because he just knows it's going one way, and he just doesn't want it to go that way at all.
Are you okay?
So basically, we've got Toadie freaking out, and we've got Susan passing out. And basically, at the end of the day, if you've got Toadie representing you, you're going to get 2 to 3 years, whatever. It doesn't matter.
For Susan, she's just devastated by the damage that she's caused, and that would be the end of everything that Susan holds dear.
In the coming weeks, another male character is afflicted by an equally challenging health problem, male anorexia, or manorexia as it's known.
Appetite suppressants.
Eating disorders they're something that's on the rise, and being a male anorexia is sort of slightly unknown, but it's on the rise as well. I know someone close to me who suffered from anorexia. I've been on sort of the other side of that sort of situation, so I had sort of done 90% of my research before I even started. It's a tough topic, and I think it's very important that it's tackled properly.
After the break, all hell breaks loose as the Neighbours stars spearhead an Oz invasion of the UK.
Behind you! We don't have Pantos back home, so I didn't really know what to expect.
Yo! Rewind.
It's working for a living, doesn't it?
And for those about to rock, we salute you.
Something new is coming to town. Baker's Gravy Bites 2-in-1. 2 deliciously different meals for your dog in the same box. Crunchy kibbles and moist, meaty chunks, irresistible on their own, or just add water for a thick, tasty gravy. The menu just doubled. New Baker's Gravy Bites 2 in 1. Don't miss the gravy train.
Introducing the new Glade Flameless Candle. Continuous puffs of your favorite Glade fragrance.
It smells so good.
And it flickers just like a real candle, but without the flame. So now you can create a mood that's simply irresistible. The new Glade Flameless Candle.
What?
The fragrance of Glade, the glow of a candle. S.C. Johnson and Family Company.
Our lowest ever pay monthly rate. With unlimited texts. No long contract. Just 30 days notice. Keep your handset. Keep your number. Keep it simple. Simplicity. Only from O2.
Tesco Car Insurance. If you're a Club Card customer and buy a policy before April the 2nd, we'll give you £50 to spend at Tesco, whether it's on petrol for your motor or just fuel for your family. Tesco Car Insurance. Every little helps.
1 and 2 are soldiers, yummy with my eggs. 3, 4, 5 with jam spreads to fill their harder legs. 6 to 9 are sandwiches, tasty, soft and squeezy. 10 to 12 like all mum's jokes, really, really cheesy. 13 were baked beans, good for the heart. But if you eat too many, they can make you...
Hovis Best of Both. White bread with all the wheat germ goodness of wholemeal. Hovis. Goodness, that's tasty.
Plunge into glossy black.
New Lash Architect. L'Oreal's first false lash effect mascara in carbon gloss with carbon black pigments. Lashes look longer, thicker for a false lash effect.
Prepare to be spellbound.
New Lash Architect Carbon Gloss from L'Oreal Paris.
Nice work, 118.
From ice sculptors to bars, call the 118-118 team.
Calvin Klein Man, the new fragrance.
The fully loaded box meal. Chock-a-block with a fillet burger, a piece of original recipe chicken, regular fries, regular side and a Pepsi. It's one heavy load.
5 News is changing. We'll have all the big, important stories. But it'll be direct, giving you a more human angle on the events that matter. So let's cut the convention and start a conversation. I'm Natasha, and I'm joining 5 to bring you news you'll want to watch.
Neighbours first hit our TV screens in 1986, and by 1988, the residents of Ramsay Street were bigger than the Beatles.
When we came over to Britain, it was literally Beatlemania wherever we went.
The crowds that were there, I mean, we were just sort of like, we didn't know what to do. We had no idea that this was happening over here.
We couldn't go anywhere without being followed by paparazzi, by crowds of people chasing us down the street. And I'm not, this is not a word of a lie.
It was just mind-blowing.
And now, 20 years later, it's just not Christmas without an Ozcreeg of Antipodean soap superstars. Every festive season, Neighbours cast members get on the big silver bird and fly into Blighty, starring in pantos, singing in bands, and generally causing Yule-related mayhem.
There's
this massive, massive bonus of popularity in the UK that far exceeds anything you could possibly imagine. You come over, people are so enthusiastic about the program. They love it so much. It's an institution in their lives.
We're off to Sheffield University. They've got a Christmas party on and doing an appearance there. I think students like Jodie so much because it's a lot of mucking around, ultimately, and you know, taking the mick. Looks like we're turning into the university. Oh my God. There's a lot of people outside. I'm a little nervous now, seeing all those people there.
Since 1988, a staggering 65 cast members have trod the boards in UK pantos. Last Christmas, the biggest ever haul, 13 Neighbours stars were overpaid, under-rehearsed and over here.
I do enjoy the fact that we are successful over here on the other side of the world, and we can actually come over here and we can actually work as well. So that when you do get fired off Neighbours, there's hopefully some kind of reality television program that you can go into here that'll probably take you back to Australia and have you doing all these things you don't particularly want to do.
Tony. I've been in love with him ever since I was about 5 and I started watching Neighbours. Tony's fit in real life!
So first of all, I'm just going to say thank you all very much for having me here today. Thank you very much for watching me and supporting me for the past 20 years.
Tony, we're in love with you!
Beats working for a living, doesn't it? Yeah.
Alan Fletcher, aka Dr. Carl Kennedy, and runner-up in 2007's Soap Star Superstar, is the most hard-working cast member on the road in Britain.
Just watch your backs, everyone. It's a bit funny with Neighbours. It's like we're like a flock of birds. You know, everyone migrates to the UK for the winter. We've got so many cast over here at the moment.
Every year for the last 3 years, Fletch flies in his hard-rocking band Waiting Room for a UK tour.
You're still in Neighbours, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
And the 50-year-old frontman hits the publicity trail hard.
We've got a little clip, actually, that we've managed to round over. Have a look at this. This is Alan's band in action. Check it out.
Will you ever know what's me? Just like me. Whatever you want.
My band Waiting Room, we play covers from British indie bands that we love. Kaiser Chiefs, Fratellis, Oasis.
Lead singer, guitar, and of course Dr. Carl in Neighbours. Alan Fletcher's back with us. Hi Alan.
Hi. My favourite music, the stuff I loved, was The Clash, Sex Pistols, Elvis Costello. I've just done Talk Sport Radio, which is national. It was quite grueling and a real education. I'm influenced so strongly by punk music of the late 70s, you know, Clash, Sex Pistols and Elvis Costello. Oh no. Oh, please call me Fletch. I feel much more comfortable. If anyone calls me Alan, I think I'm in trouble.
And that night, Alan and his band have got another gig.
Here we are, it's Manchester, day 17. We're at Academy 1, which is huge. Probably a little bit bigger than it should be for us, but you know, Nirvana have been here, Oasis has been here, why not? Waiting Room.
Let's make some noise together to end it off.
The second I run on to the second I go off, all I think about is that there are rows and rows and rows of smiling faces looking back at me, being entertained, and they're there for me to entertain them. That's my job, and it's what I love doing.
And let us not forget, Alan Fletcher is 50 years old.
Doesn't want to be out there. I predict a riot. I predict a riot. I predict a riot. I predict a riot. Apparently it's better down under.
The gig doesn't stop when I run off. Then after there'll be another hour, maybe an hour and a half, I'm just saying hello to people, you know, signing pictures, getting photos.
Down to the doctor. Down to the doctor. Down to the doctor. Make you feel good all night.
The most important part, because, you know, I wouldn't be there if it wasn't for them. When you make a telly program, there's no one there to clap and cheer or cry. When you do this, you get instantaneous feedback.
Well, he is a doctor.
Without the UK audience, who knows how long Neighbours would have gone. And certainly, you know, the demand for us coming over here at this time of the year is very strong.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your 5-minute call. You have 5 minutes. Thank you.
Natalie Blair, who plays Italian Spitfire, and ex-nun Carmela Caminetti, is a self-confessed panto virgin.
G'day everyone! So nice to be here in Shrewsbury. I mean that true blue. We don't have pantos back home, so I didn't really know what to expect. I knew they were a bit over the top and tongue-in-cheek and very camp and all of that, but I really like it. I prefer it actually.
I should never have promised your dear departed father to look after you, you nasty, ugly child! Don't you agree, boys and girls?
Down there, later today, the curtain is going to go up and fully grown men are going to walk out dressed in dresses. And some pantomimes, boys are playing girls, girls are playing boys. And you're going to be telling the kids that if they see a ghost behind you, would they please yell out and let you know? And the kids do yell out and let you know. It's the straight-out, wonderful human theatrical experience. What's my favourite line in the show itself? Well, of course, Cinderella. You shall go to the ball.
The British pound is worth more than the Australian dollar, and we can come over here and work for, you know, 8 weeks or something like that, and collect a nice little pot and take it home, and it's worth more. And ultimately, that's a nice chunk off our home loan.
Let's be absolutely honest. You know, the money's sort of quite good to be offered when you do a pantos.
Soon I will find him and take him to the cave and get the lamp, and then I will become master of the world!
Your rehearsal period is very, very short. It's about 8 days or something in all. To do the same show in length and extravagance for a West End production takes 6 weeks.
Knock, knock! Boo! See, I can make anyone cry.
Acting on stage is so different to acting for screen. With Neighbours, you do a scene, you shoot it, it's done, it's finished, you never think about it again.
Marry Prince!
And I'm sure I'm going to go back to Neighbours going like, oh, Oliver, the baby! Because I'm so used to doing over-the-top stuff now. Although Neighbours can be a bit OTT sometimes, can't it? I shouldn't say that, should I?
And Carmela is confronted with some fairly OTT situations in her upcoming Neighbours storyline on 5.
Oliver, what do you want?
The way I feel about you is complex.
There's a love triangle with Oliver and... What's his name? Italian dude. Marco, thank you. Oh, sorry, I'm in panto mode. Gotta love a triangle, because Neighbours sure do.
Meanwhile, in the cathedral city of York, Ian Smith is hanging with the S-Men, the Sally Army. Unfortunately, Ian's alter ego, Harold Bishop, is finally bowing out. Sort of.
Oh, something happened.
Well, there's a stag at the door.
I think most people now know that I'm sort of semi-leaving the show, and I'm only back once every 4 months. Oh, well, 6 weeks and every 4 months. I remember my first scene. I remember standing outside the front door of the Ramsey house and Kylie answering the door dressed as a clown or as a fairy. Clownish fairy.
You're not Harold Bishop.
Well, yes, as a matter of fact.
Come in, Mum, there's a bit...
To me, Harold was about comedy. It was about his bumbling. It was about his, not stupidity so much, but his inability to cope with the modern world and the result of that being comedic.
Madge?
Harold! Harold Bishop was one of Neighbours' best-loved characters, but in 1992, the show's producers inexplicably caused Harold to fall off a rock, only to reappear 5 years later as a Salvation Army operative called Ted, Harold with memory loss. But that soon got sorted out. Since then, he's bidden farewell to his long-suffering wife, Madge, and learnt to play the tuba.
Keep your pucker up, old son.
And latterly, he's been sharing a house with Lou Carpenter.
Oh, my retinas. What's the matter? Too much?
It's been tremendous working with Ian Smith, because the rascal's got a wicked sense of humour under all that business.
Hey, why don't we stop for a drink? Call a commission.
What part of unpaid volunteer didn't you understand?
Oh, you stingy tambourine basher.
From April, Ian's character Harold will be leaving Ramsey Street to become a grey nomad, touring Australia in a ute. That's Aussie slang for utility vehicle, a whacking great van.
Harold wants to do what Ian Smith wants to do. He's going to become one of the famous grey nomads, and they are people who, when they retire, do the circuit, what's known as the circuit, going around Australia, and that's a lot of miles. He's 68 years old. He wants to stop and smell the roses before he's pushing them up. And so that's exactly what Harold is going to do.
Superb, gentlemen. Superb.
Alan Fletcher and his band Waiting Room are hard-nosing the highway en route to their 70th UK gig in 2 years.
Another day on the road, short trip today. Nip over to Doncaster. Because we're in Doncaster, it's quite famous. The first bit, instead of going, na 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 na, is Doncaster, Doncaster. And then you do the Donny, Donny, Donny.
Donny, 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 Donny! What you doing to me?
Just a quick reminder, this man is 50.
Donny, 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 Donny! Good evening, Doncaster. You ready to party with us?
How many 50-year-old men get to be a rock star?
He's such
Come
a rock
on.
star.
It's fantastic.
It's so cool to watch him up on stage.
He gets out there and he
He'll
entertains,
entertain 'em.
and people have a fantastic night.
I'd like to just do a song, a tribute song. This was recently sent to me by an adolescent youth who was obsessed with one Susan Kennedy.
It's fair to say that I would probably spend at least as much time in 28 Ramsey Street as I do in my home. I think Susan is a very tolerant woman to have put up with me for 13 years.
I got a crush on Susie K, the mother with the most in every way. They call her a Kinski, but I'll never agree. She'll always be a Kennedy to me. 'Cause I got a crush on Susie K. One day she'll be mine, I don't care what you say. The most beautiful girl on Australian TV. I've got a crush on Mrs. Susan Kennedy. gotta cry.
After 3 marriages, 1 divorce, 4 affairs, 3 children, 2 stepchildren, 1 love child, 1 bout of alcoholism and a pet galah called Doll, the Kennedys are a happy family again. But ironically, Susan's stability is about to be seriously threatened.
Well, Susan's actually got a massive storyline at the moment. She's been experiencing a lot of mystery symptoms. She's been extremely unwell, tiredness, lethargy, dizzy spells, feeling faint. And then finally, we learn what's wrong with Susan, and of course there's serious consequences for the whole family because it's not good.
Now that's what I call a cliffy. That's Aussie slang for cliffhanger. After the break, Neighbours fans go down the pub and walkabout on the real Ramsey Street. And Dr. Carl's whirlwind tour winds down under.
But walking in here tonight makes me realise how wonderful it is to be at home.
Football on 5. The UEFA Cup moves into the knockout stages. 5 British teams remain, and Tottenham will be hoping Ramos can lead them to glory. And after impressing in the group stages, Everton, Johnson, who he has done well, and scores, will look for a first trophy under David Moyes. The UEFA Cup, Wednesday and Thursday, live on 5.
Is juggling a busy life causing you tension headaches? Take Triple Action Anodin Extra. It has a powerful combination of 3 ingredients. 1 to target the source of pain, 1 to help block pain, and 1 to speed up relief. For people who just get on with it, take Triple Action Anodin Extra. The liquid ibuprofen power of Anodin Ultra capsules relieves tough body pain fast.
Everyone's falling for Penelope.
I was born with the face of a pig.
It's perfect, magical, 5 stars. What are you waiting for? Penelope, out now.
Introducing Avon's new Super Shock Mascara. Our biggest brush ever amplifies the look of lashes. The thickening and volumizing 2-in-1 formula is clump resistant and defines lashes for a super dramatic look. Super Shock Mascara. Order exclusively from your Avon representative or online and say hello tomorrow.
It's a race against time and a job like no other. A constant battle between the truckers and the brutal conditions.
That's the thing here, is if you're timid, this road will lead you up.
But the rewards don't come without a price.
The worst snowstorm I've ever seen in my life. Couldn't see nothing, just like the white screen on a TV.
Ice Road Truckers, 8 o'clock Fridays on 5.
Everybody who wants to meet the Neighbours stars!
In the modern-day equivalent of a holy pilgrimage, British Neighbours fans descend on this theme pub in Melbourne to bask in the presence of Neighbours regulars. Like this one. It's Dr. Carl. Again. He's 50, you know.
I flew in this morning at 6:35 from the UK after our 3-week tour. We had an absolutely awesome time. But walking in here tonight makes me realise how wonderful it is to be at home.
Every Monday night, the Elephant and Wheelbarrow in the St Kilda suburb of Melbourne plays host to a night's dancing, snogging and general Neighbours-related weirdness.
Bouncer the Dog is in the building!
It's no surprise that sometimes fans have problems separating fact from fiction.
Mostly people call me Susan. Occasionally they'll call me Jackie, which is very nice.
I actually really appreciate it though when they know my real name.
If they call me Lou, I don't mind at all. A lot do. But they expect something from you when they do that. You either Lou's dirty laugh or...
Laura, you said you were 25. That's rather marvellous because that makes you just old enough for Dr. Carl.
And for the hungover Neighbours fans, there's also a tour of the street itself.
I was in the neighbourhood. I thought I'd pop past.
Doesn't this man have a home to go to?
How are you all? You're well? I'm excited. Feel the love.
An estimated 15,000 fans per year set foot on the holy tarmac of Ramsey Street, real name Pin Oak Court.
There it is, Ramsey Street. We got here at something like 2 in the morning. The next day we went and booked the tour and then did it the day after. It was the first thing we did in Melbourne.
We've been filming here today on Ramsey Street and you have busloads of fans come to watch. The support and the extent of the love of the show all around the world is just extraordinary.
Apparently my mum used to rock me to sleep to the theme tune of Neighbours, so I've watched it my whole life.
Now everyone turns up and says, oh, it's so small, I can't believe it. And they're also very good with their camera angles. When they shoot them down the street, they film from all the way back over there where the garage is, and so then it makes it look a long way away.
There's a bit more trickery than that. The interiors that we see on the TV are shot down the road in a big studio. That's because the houses on this quiet cul-de-sac are lived in by real people. The same people since 1985, in fact. At that time, when Neighbours was first mooted, the producers considered calling it No Through Road, a one-way street. But they never seemed to be bothered by the fact that the real houses only have 2 or 3 bedrooms.
We have stopped halfway through scenes and we've gone, we've got 8 people sleeping in this house. How the hell can that happen?
It's crazy. I don't know. A bit of room sharing going on, obviously. That's how the sort of relationship starts.
It's one of the great mysteries. Like the pyramids of Giza, there are just tunnels and layers and wings that nobody knows about. There are, about 16 bedrooms and 3 studies, 14 bathrooms, sunrooms too. We once had a sunroom.
Houses like the TARDIS, more gags than the Chuckle Brothers, more plot twists than Britney Spears, and 23 years in show business. Just what is the key to Neighbours' enduring success?
Anything that happens on the show could happen to the people who watch the show. Whereas if you watch an American show, you have to be a multimillionaire, a murderer, a mass rapist, or a serial killer.
Each show would present you with drama, but it would be interspersed with not necessarily comedy, but lightheartedness. I remember the days of the Joe Mangle and Harold Bishop and Henry Ramsey together. I mean, you got a scene with those 3 in it together. It was just hysterical.
The reason why Neighbours is so popular is basically because there's sunshine.
Obviously they like to see the sun.
We've got the sun and the surf.
Australia's quite bright and happy.
Look at this beautiful blue sky. It's always summer on Ramsey Street.
Where are you going?
There's the odd girl walking around in the bikini. That could help as well.
Don't forget, tomorrow Neighbours is rocking up on 5. No worries.
It's wicked to be on 5.
I was not.
Really looking forward to seeing you all soon.
You're hot for me.
Tony! Okay, just breathe.
See ya.
Same Ramsey Street.
New home.
Look how much they love it. Oh, so do we. The wait is nearly over. They move in tomorrow. Catch the Neighbours first on 5 at 1:45 in the afternoon and again at 5:30.
There's a great Weight Watchers story in every neighbourhood.
So next tonight, Adam Sandler lets us know what it would have felt like to have won that lottery. It's Mr. Deeds after